What is up? James Blissett, pro gambler, founder of Lucrative MMA. That is my handicapping service where I help people make money from gambling. Because that's what I do. I make a lot of money from gambling, a lot of money from betting on MMA, and that's what I help people do. Shout out to Fubu in the chat saying 4 minutes. Yes, 4 minutes. I am here. Maybe I was a minute or two late, but I have to get myself situated, comfortable, ready for this podcast. I'm a bit low energy today. Got my bottle of water. And I'm going to break down the card. I don't know if I'm going to speak about the full card. Guys, every single week what I do is a main event breakdown, right? I don't do the full card breakdown. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends if I have time. Depends if I'm motivated, can be bothered. That type of stuff. This week, I was only going to do the main event breakdown, but it's a good card. And I figure the main event breakdown's a little later than usual. I usually put it out on Monday or Tuesday. It's now Thursday. So I feel like since I'm going live a little bit late, why not break down the full card, if not most of the card? So we'll get into it, but I want to do the main event breakdown first, just so I get that out of the way, because that's the one I really want to touch on. And good fight, Peter Yan versus Merab Dvalishvilli. And shout out everyone here. If you are here and you watch my stuff regularly, like my stuff, comment on my stuff, because we get more engagement, and I'm more motivated to do it. Shout out to Daz Files. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to I am the one, the only one. Don't need no gun. Peter Yan versus Merab Dvalishvilli. Peter Yan's 1-3 in his last 4. I always like having fun with the Peter Yan fans on Twitter. I'm always like giving him digs, giving him slights, calling him out, because people get really, really upset. I remember when I bet on Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan, and damn, did I get a lot of hate for that pick after the fight. Oh my God, how did he win that fight? You shouldn't have won the fight. You got lucky. Such a lucky bet. So I was like, all right, these fans are touchy, right? And then obviously with the Aljo stuff, the Peter Yan fans are touchy. So I always have fun with the Peter Yan fans, I always tease and stuff. So it was quite funny this week. I was posting up highlights of Sugar Sean and plus 300. You know how it goes. Just having a bit of fun on there. But realistically and honestly, because I have fun on Twitter and I'll say some stuff about Sean O'Malley and Peter Yan, but I also be honest on there, right? If anyone actually asked my opinion on the fight, I do think Peter Yan beat Sean O'Malley. Obviously, the first fight against Aljamain Sterling, he got DQ'd, but he was winning that fight. It's kind of a win in my book. It was an idiot, but it was kind of a win in my book. And then when you speak about the fight that he lost against Sterling the second time, razor close fight. In my opinion, in the rematch, Peter Yan beats him. It was kind of like a lucky win. So yes, he's lost 3 of his last 4, but in reality, he's not really. He shouldn't be 3-4, I should say, right? He's still one of the best bantamweights in the world. Maybe number 1, number 2. Umar Nurmagomedov is coming, though, boys. I'm telling you that now. What I'm trying to say is Peter Yan's an amazing fighter, and I have an amazing amount of respect for Peter Yan. I'm kind of annoyed at Peter Yan because I bet on him to win in round 3, 4, and 5. Or I think just 4 and 5 against Aljo in that first fight. And he had him there for the taking. He had him there to be beat. And what did he do? He went and got himself DQ'd in round 4 and lost me my bet. Pretty frustrating way to lose it. But all in all, I do like Peter Yan. And in this fight, he's coming against Merab Dvalishvilli, who I also like, who I've also made a lot of money on. I remember having a lot of money on Merab Dvalishvilli to win against Marlon Moraes, but I had him specifically via props. I had him to win in round 2. I had him to win in round 3. And that's what he did. He won in round 2, right at the end of round 2. So it was a perfect read from me. It was very similar to my read on Dricus du Plessis to win in round 2 and round 3. He finished him right at the end of round 2. Du Plessis actually was in between round 2 and round 3. So I bet on round 2 and round 3. So it's quite funny that ended in the middle of both. Obviously, he got rocked badly in that fight against Marlon, though. Remember, he got rocked with the left hook. I think it was the left hook or the right hook. Pretty sure it was the left hook. And, for the rest of the round, for the rest of most of the round, for about 2-3 minutes after that, he was on wobbly legs, almost got finished, got dropped a couple of times, not really dropped, but, wobbled on the fence, fell against the fence, he got hurt badly, man. Badly. And I actually played Marlon Moraes to win him round 1 there as well because I thought it was his win condition. So probably one of the best reads I've ever had on a fight in MMA history or in my MMA gambling history. And it was an easy fight to read, in my opinion. Marlon round 1 or Merab in round 2 or round 3. Actually, Merab almost finished him in round 1 because Marlon gassed himself out so bad trying to finish him that he almost got finished himself. And that's what Merab will do, right? He will keep pushing. And that fight just showed his cardio, but we already know his cardio. He'll keep pushing. He does slow down. They call him the machine. I don't think he's a machine. I think he's a human in terms of he will slow down a little bit. Like you've seen in these third rounds, he's not pushing as much as he does in round 1 or round 2. But, he's going to keep on going. He's got an amazing gas tank. It's insane the work he can do in terms of the takedowns and the grappling and the wrestling and the volume he can put out there and only slow down a little bit. He really should be falling off a cliff or slowing down loads. So his cardio is amazing. And in my opinion, that's his biggest weapon. His biggest weapon is his pace and his cardio. It's not his wrestling. It's not his grappling. It's not his volume. It's his pace and cardio. That is his biggest weapon. And that's what I think about both fighters. I'm going to tell you now how I think they match up. I think Merab is up against it in this spot. I know a lot of people playing Merab because he's big money. Merab, you don't really see Merab at plus 200 or whatever he is. But I don't think he's going to do much to Peter Yan in this fight, guys. Peter Yan's going to be defending all the takedowns. Yes, he might get taken down once or twice. Yes, I actually do think he will get taken down once or twice. I'm not saying it's a for sure thing. I said in that Duplessis versus Brunson fight, just remember it because it was last week, that basically it was a for sure. It was a sure thing that that Brunson was going to take Duplessis down. I just thought Duplessis would get back to his feet and wear him down, which he did. I don't think it's a sure thing that Merab takes Yan down, but I am predicting him to get 1 or 2 takedowns. Maybe just 1. I think he probably will get it. I don't think he'll be able to consolidate to opposition, though. He might get him to his bum or to his back for a second, but he ain't going to consolidate to opposition. I'm almost certain of that. Merab doesn't have great top control at the best of times. Coming up against someone like Peter Yan, he's not going to have great top control, man. Peter Yan is got amazing takedown defense. And he's so athletic and he times things so well on his offense and defense that it's very hard to get any type of control over him unless you're Aljo and you backpack him and get the body triangle, which we know in MMA these days, once you get the body triangle, it seems like fighters don't get up from that position. You can get out of a body triangle, but it's very hard. And also, the ways to do it are not universal in MMA right now. So a lot of people struggle when they get put in the body triangle. I don't expect it to last forever. There's going to be counters coming out to that over the next few years in MMA that we see. Like any move, it gets countered and the game grows. But right now, the body triangle is very hard to deal with for most fighters in the UFC. And we saw that in the Yan and Aljo fight. So unless Merab Dvalishvilli has somehow taken his training partner, Aljamain Sterling's body lock ability, he's not going to win this fight, guys. He might get a takedown. He might get 2 takedowns. But he's not going to get top control. And the fight's going to be on the feet for most of the fight. Yan's going to piece him up on the feet, man. Yan is a way more technical striker. He's got better boxing. He's got better kicks. He's got better range control. He's got better pace. When I say he's got better pace, he doesn't have more pace, but he has better pace in the striking, right? He's just a better striker, which means he's basically better at every asset or every aspect, every facet of striking. So, yes, Merab's pace might be more in terms of he throws more output, more volume, but not in this fight. Yan's going to be the one pacing Merab on the feet because Merab is going to get found out. He's going to get countered. The range is not going to be there for Merab. He's going to be throwing volume out to nobody. So, there's levels in the striking. And if someone's just high levels above you in the striking, they're better at everything than you, even at your asset or at your best ability, which for Merab, I'd say is the pace. But he's not going to have that here on Yan for long periods of time. Maybe early he'll be able to pace him, but, throw more volume. That it's not going to last, guys. Yan's going to keep it on the feet, and Merab's going to gas out from trying to shoot so many takedowns. And that's really how I see the fight going. I think Merab finishes him probably in round 4. I think he gets a late finish here. But, Peter Yan does play. Sorry, I think Yan finishes him. I think I might have said Merab. Obviously, I'm saying I think Yan finishes him. I will say, though, that it's tough because in terms of picking a finish, because Yan does play with his food sometimes. I mean, even Aldo, who was dead in that fight after round 3, 4, like he couldn't finish him till round 5. He almost finished him in round 1, but it took a long time to finish Uriah Faber, who was checked out of the game at that point. He finished him in round 3. Took a long time to finish Aldo, finished him in round 5. Didn't finish Aljo, got himself DQ'd. Didn't finish him in the second fight when he was completely gassed. Didn't finish Corey, but I'd remove that from all the other fights because I think Corey's really tough and he was actually competing. But yeah, man, I just feel like Yan's going to win the fight cleanly. I think Yan's going to probably finish, but you do have to be a little bit careful going super heavy on the finish just because Yan does play with his food sometimes and he doesn't hit hard. I don't think he hits that hard. I mean, obviously he hits hard, but they're small guys, right? 135 pounds. So I don't think he hits that hard. So yeah, I think Yan's going to win, guys, probably by late stoppage, but I don't know. We'll see. And we'll get on to the rest of the card, man. I don't know if I'm going to break down this whole card. If you've got any fights that you want me to break down, put them in a chat. If I've got a good take on them, a strong take, some of these fights, I'm like, I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't have a massive take. If there's any fight you want me to break down, though, put it in the chat and I'll have a look and maybe I'll break it down. I'll address the chat right now. We got Tanner saying, thanks, James. Stay hydrated. We've got to stay hydrated, man. One of the most important things on this earth. I'm actually soon to be currently installing a filtration system in my house because I've done a lot of research and you probably hear it a lot, and sometimes when you hear things a lot, you kind of just dismiss it because you're like, oh, I hear this all the time. It's kind of annoying. But if you hear things a lot, oftentimes it means that they are the truth, oftentimes, not always. But tap water, depending on where you live, I think in New Zealand where I live, it ain't too bad, not as bad as some places, but tap water's bad, man. Like tap water's got a lot of shit in it, just especially as the population grows throughout the world and throughout each country, there's a lot of things dumped into the water supply and the filtration system can't clean it all. And the governments and the council also put things in the water to clean them, which are not particularly great for us. So, you can only do your best, but yeah, I'm going to put a filtration system in my water. My man Lou saying, James, I'm the GIF that keeps on giving. Apparently, I'm a GIF. They should make a GIF of me on Twitter. That would be quite funny. No, but shout out to Lou. Thank you, brother. Love you too, my brother. FIFA saying, why don't you do a breakdown with Big Steve? I will do a breakdown with Big Steve. I already done one a few weeks ago. I'm not going to be doing it every week because I don't even do breakdowns here every week. But, I'm sure I'll jump on with him again in the future. Shout out Big Steve. Lou's saying also congrats on number 50. Yeah, I just realized I'm number 50. And that's why I want to do something a bit different this week, not main event breakdown. Just kick back, kind of like just a discussion between me and you. Just like a relaxed session. My energy's a bit low today, so I'm just kicking back. It's cold not cold, but it's bad weather in New Zealand. It's summer here. The weather's been up and down lately, man. Like it's been crazy. So it's been cyclones here, floods. People have died. A lot of people, actually, to be honest, like double-digit amount of people have died over the floods and the cyclones here. My car got completely wrecked in the flood. I had to basically replace my whole car. And now it's cold weather. Not cold weather, but it's bad weather. So, sometimes when it's bad weather, like rainy and that, your energy's a bit low. You just want to kick back indoors. So that's how it is. And it's episode 50. So, I thought I'd break down the whole card as a thank you to everybody who's watched 50 episodes so far. If anyone's watched all 50 episodes, you're an absolute legend, man. Let me know because you deserve a shout out. Wiz is saying, all the boys today. Keep up the great work. Yes, yes. Shane saying, looking for your guidance on this card. We'll speak about it soon. Aldo had amazing takedown defense like Yan, but Aldo still got held against the cage for all 3 rounds. Hopefully Yan can get off to get... Aldo's old, man. Yan is not. Yan's a young... Yan ain't getting held on the cage, man. Merab ain't that strong. No way. Cody Stamen didn't get held on the cage. Aldo's about the only one who did get held on the cage. I don't know what it was weird in that fight, but that's what happened against Alexander Volkanovski, if you remember. Aldo got held against the cage a lot in that fight. So you have to think that maybe Aldo against the cage, maybe he's just not that strong in that position in this day and age. Maybe he never was. Yan is strong, man. And Yan's very tricky in the clinch as well. He's got a better clinch than Aldo, in my opinion. So, when they do clinch, he's going to be able to trip him, dump him. He's able to, one thing that Yan does amazing, and it's a big thing in Muay Thai, is he's able to shift his opponent's weight. So that's why he always gets a lot of trip takedowns. He's very good at maneuvering his opponent's weight. So if they are up against the cage, in my opinion, he's going to win the weight battle. He's going to be able to offset some of Merab's movements when they're clinching in close. So I don't think that's going to happen. Lou's saying DDP hit him with a diamond cutter. That was brutal. Finished him. Rob is late to the show, but it's all good. You're here now. Saeed Nurmagomedov for sure. Should we break that one down? No, man. I don't think it's Saeed Nurmagomedov for sure. I'm not going to lie. I think this is a close fight. And in a close fight, give me the plus 200 on Jonathan Martinez rather than picking the minus 250 on Saeed Nurmagomedov. I don't really understand why this guy is minus 250 in this spot, guys. I don't really know. If anyone could tell me, I'd appreciate it. Grateful is laughing. No, he's not. he's taking notes. Don't know why I thought that was a laughing emoji. It looks like the sideways laughing emoji where I'm looking. Sean is saying, curious about the Volkov Romanov. So Volkov Romanov. So a few of you speaking about Volkov here. Rob's saying he's got a big bet on Romanov finish and spam finish. So we speak about Volkov Romanov. So yeah, I it's a tough fight because I do think Romanov's definitely gonna get takedowns early, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to finish Volkov. Volkov's not easy to finish, in my opinion. Now, we saw him get run through by Tom Aspinall, and that wasn't a good look, right? Because Tom Aspinall's known to be the striker. Next thing you know, he's coming in and double-legging Volkov and then submitting him with a submission in round 1. It's not a great look, right? But I do think that... it's possible for Romanov, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Me personally, I don't think he's going to finish him in round 1. So if he doesn't, I think he's going to fall off a cliff. And I think Volkov's going to take over. I think Volkov's probably going to win by finish if he does start taking over. Because as we've seen, Romanov was gassed. So yeah, man. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I like Volkov. But he needs to survive that first round. We saw Tybura did it. Romanov hasn't really been tested against high-level competition. Really. Who has he fought? Romanov and Tybura and Espino. He lost to both of them. No, he beat Espino, but come on, we know that wasn't really telling the full story of the fight. So you know what I mean? He hasn't really been tested, guys. So we're going to see him tested here. So I'll be interested to see what happens. Davey Grant versus Rafa. Yeah, I've been flip-flopping on this all week, so I don't really want to get into a massive breakdown on it because I don't really know. I feel like Davey Grant is going to have a good chance to knock him out. But at the same time, if he doesn't, I think Rafa's quite smart and he's the smarter fighter and he could start to get his time in and take him down. And so I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like the under might be the spot in this fight, honestly. Because, I know Davey Grant's really tough, but he still gets hurt. And he's been finished before, so I'm just trying to look at the under. Because it might be sneaky. I don't think I've really checked. But even then, I probably won't play it, man. Unless it's mad. Yeah, not bad. Not bad, I mean, under is plus 140, plus 150, plus 160 on 5 times. Yeah, plus 120 on fight doesn't go to decision. Yeah, I don't mind it. I kind of like it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, yo, dude, were you in Newmarket in Auckland last night? I swear I saw you. No, I wasn't in Newmarket, Auckland, but I know where Newmarket is, and I'm in Auckland, so where were you, brother? Are you in Auckland? Let me know, man. Auckland's a small city, bro. You can see anyone here. I regularly see Izzy. And I'm friends with a lot of his friends. It's just like everybody knows everyone. It's a funny city, isn't it? Filtration system. Next level. Well done. Thank you, brother. We got to always level up, Daz Files with the donation. Shout out to my man Daz. 10 Australian dollars. Frem Dumas fight or Kenney Batista fight? Because you gave me a donation, bro, we're gonna do both. So the Frem Dumas fight. Yeah, this has been a hot topic on Twitter this week. A lot of people jumping on Dumas. A lot of people saying people are stupid for jumping on Dumas. They're saying you're a dumbass if you jumped on Dumas. Dumas, right? I think Dumas is going to win the fight. I think he's probably going to finish Fremd probably early. If it gets dragged out, though, Fremd will probably win. I am picking Dumas, but I do think that the line's a little bit wide at minus 200 or whatever it is. So for that reason, I'm going to pass on the fight. I don't really have massive interest in playing Fremd, though. But I understand why you think the line's wide and why you would play Fremd 100%. But for me, I will pick Dumas straight up, but I don't have much degree of confidence in it because we just don't know much about Dumas, in my opinion. I do think he's actually a decent prospect. He's got massive length, and I just think raw skill and talent, I do think it's there and he could progress. But like where he is in his career now, it's not great. So oftentimes, I don't like betting against fighters who I think have a good ceiling, high ceiling, because I don't think Fremd has a high ceiling. I'll say that. I don't think he does. So oftentimes I don't like betting against these fighters that I think will improve, can improve, because we never know when the improvements are going to come. So they may look like one thing on tape, but they may look like something completely different on fight night because they're improving like I'm predicting them to do, right? So oftentimes I don't like betting against those fighters. Sometimes you have to do it because the lines get too wide and you have to keep the bookies honest, and sometimes they're fighting guys who are already at a high level, so it's a tough one in terms of my mentality behind sports betting and who I like betting on and against. But yeah, I'll take Dumas. And then the next fight, Kenney Batista. I mean, I don't really think Kenney's going to win. Batista's minus 1,000. I think Batista probably finishes him in round 1. If Kenney does win, it probably is in round 1, just like he has done in his last fight and the fight before that. He comes out hard in round 1. He throws a lot in round 1. So, there's a chance Batista gets knocked out because he has been knocked out before. But the way I see the fight playing out is Batista probably knocking him out on the feet. I think submission is favored. I wouldn't really necessarily agree with that. I would say that KO probably should be favored just because I think Kenney's chinny and all fight starts on the feet. And I'm not sure Batista's just going to instantly shoot. But it's kind of like a lottery ticket between whether he's going to get a finish or submission. I think they should probably be about the same line, though, and I don't think they are. But yeah, that's it, really. What we got? Giallo saying, I'm in Montreal, tap water is hard as fuck. I miss water and OZ. Thoughts on Henry late sub? Victor Henry? Yeah, I like it, bro. I like it. What is it? Because I might bet it. Because I'm imagining it's going to be massive, right? My official prediction was Henry to win in round 2. So Henry round 3 is obviously live as well. And then if Henry to win in round 3 is live, then his submission will be massive, right? So Henry sub in round 3. Should we have a look right now, boys? If anybody knows Henry sub in round 3, tell me what that is, because I might just do a little podcast bet right now. Just chuck a little bit, just a little bit on it. All right. So Victor Henry wins via submission in round 3. 28-1. Plus 2,800, boys. That's on one book. Let me check what another book's paying. And then I'll probably lock one of those in. Right now, just a podcast play. Everyone chuck $5 on it and we'll see. Well, I don't want to be held liable, right? If it doesn't win. If you want me to be held liable, even though I'm not, you can sign up to my service and get all my official picks. This is not an official pick. This is a degenerate pick. I don't know why, but this book's not loading right now. So I've got 28-1 right now. What's everyone else saying? Yeah, so Giallo's saying the same thing. Henry third round sub is $29 at the moment. Yeah, that's what I've got. But I'm hoping I can get it even better. You never know. They haven't opened props for that one. I mean, that's big. I'm going to take that, guys. I'm going to take Victor Henry submission in round 3. 28-1. That's a massive price. I'll put $150 on it to return $4,500, basically. All right, let's go. Amit's saying he got 29-1. The fact that I'm looking into it is making me not compliment, right? You meant contemplate. I think. Anthony's saying, bro, I'm going to do that now too. It's $5. Who gives a shit? Exactly. Little fun sprinkle, man. Who cares, bro? You're not gonna miss it, are you? So yeah, 29-1. That's not bad. What else are we saying? Amit's saying, yo, Lucrative, what do you reckon about this Lingo and Ramos fight? Honestly think Lingo is going to get pieced up, but don't want to add Ramos to a parlay. What's the under in that spot? Because instead of playing Ramos at like minus 400, maybe you should just look for the under, because I was looking into that too. So the under's minus 125, plus 100, minus 150, minus 150. I kind of like the under in that spot. I don't think I'm going to get to it just because it's minus 150 now. It's a bit chalky. Oh, no. I can get it for minus 110, bro. Fucking hell. Fight doesn't go to decision, minus 125. All right, well, that's that book. Let me check 2 other books, and I'll check market wide. I just don't want to force any bets on this card. I really like the bets I have currently. I'm going to add 1 or 2 more. I don't want to go too crazy. Will the fight go the distance? No. How much they saying on that book? This is the importance of line shopping. The fight doesn't go to decision is minus 155 on one book, but minus 125 on another book. That's a big difference, guys. That's the importance of line shopping in MMA. And I've got all markets open there now. And that is what you have to do in MMA. You have to make sure that you have lines available on multiple books. You know, I've spoken about this many times and people don't understand. I always get people signing up to my service and saying, oh, you know, I can only get the bet at this line. Like, should I still bet it? And I say, what bookie are you talking about? And they'll name one bookie. And I say, listen, if you're serious about making money, open 10 bookies. At least open 5. At least have 3 to choose from. Jesus Christ. There's massive, massive discrepancies between bookmakers. It can cost you a winning or losing night, depending on the availability of the lines, depending on what lines you got on. If I have 4 bets, right? And on one book, all 4 of those are lined plus 110. And on another book, all 4 of those are lined minus 110, right? Which is possible. This happens. If I bet on all 4 of those bets on the book that has them plus 110, and I win 2 out of 4 bets, it's a winning night for me. I'm in the green. I've profited. I'm happy. Yes, another week in the books, another profitable week. Let's go. If I bet all 4 of the exact same bets on the other bookie, which had all 4 selections for minus 110, and the exact same thing happened, 2 out of 4 won, it is a losing night for me. I have lost money this weekend. It's an unprofitable weekend. I'm looking at my results and going, damn, man, I lost this weekend. Fuck, I need to get it back next weekend. That's the difference. It's the difference between a losing and a winning night. I tell everybody, make sure you have as many bookies as possible. I typically have 10 plus bookies available at any one time, and even more if I really want. I have bookies I haven't used in years, months, that I could open back up if I want to, log into them, because they're from different countries and stuff like that, and we won't get into that. But the moral of the story is make sure you have many, many, many different books to choose from, because you're going to earn more money in the long run. And there's so many other benefits as well. I'm not going to go into them all here. You know me, I get into my rants. I'm not going to go into them all here. This is a full card breakdown. But you're going to get limited a lot slower for the most part if you have multiple books. You can spread your risk out on multiple different positions. There's many, many benefits, guys. So, make sure you do that. But to answer your question, bro, for me, I'd rather play the under than play Ramos, just because I feel like Ramos probably finishes, but Lingo hits hard. Ramos is a little bit flaky. So for me, minus 150, worst case scenario, I can get minus 125. If it doesn't go to decision, I can get the under for minus 110. It's a much better play than minus 400. So long rant in there as well, but that's the answer to your question. Everyone been saying Romanov wins easy, so I already answered that. I don't think he does. Thomas Kane, fade main event in DFS. Fight is a dud. You can jump ahead of field. There is a chance. Bro, what is going on? I can't read your writing. Are you taking the piss? Are you... Bro, what are you doing? You got a crazy keyboard, bro. Did you get a keyboard from wish.com or something? Thomas has been shopping at wish.com, man. Chani, fight doesn't score well if Marab doesn't get takedowns. If you got one of those keyboards or phones where you don't have the letters, you don't have a C or something like that, because it seems like that. I remember my friend used to have a BlackBerry back in the day. We all used to have BlackBerries. Do you remember BlackBerry, the phone? And sometimes the BlackBerry keyboards, they used to be fucked because there wasn't touchscreen. This was tap the keypad, right? And one of my mates, he had certain letters that didn't work when you touched them. So he didn't have an S. So instead of an S, he used a 5. And he didn't have a D. So instead of a D, he used an O or something. And so his text used to come up stupid like this. And he used to look at it what the fuck is this kid trying to say to me? Rob is saying, I think he's going for a submission unless dies from cardio. Yeah, he will go for a submission. He could get it. Ramos Lingo goes the distance. Seems like a good plan now. So I'm just, I reckon it goes under, I reckon under's the spot. I don't know if I'm going to bet it myself. I don't know if I'm that passionate about it, but I'd rather do that than the minus 400 at least. Daz Files is the man for sure. Frem looked good in the regional scene and fell off once he hit decent. And it happens a lot, guys. It happens a lot. Fuba's saying, what the fuck do we have to do to get the local markets to open props up earlier before they're washed? Yeah, I know. Fubu, I think you're in New Zealand with me. And if so, we got Bet Online and we can get those. But yeah, when you're saying local markets, yeah, the books that actually reside in New Zealand, we don't get the props till a lot later. But you can still find value on them, man, in my experience. And also, sometimes they move again in our way. But obviously, it'd be great to have them early. But we'll see. How big is the cage at this location? Are they using Apex? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I have heard both, so I haven't. Yeah, I don't know, man. It definitely makes a difference. Amit is saying, yeah, I've done it too. Let's ride. Lucrative saying, no, he's not. Anthony's saying, Lucrative, do you have certain sports books because you're in the UK? So I'm in New Zealand. I'm from the UK. I have access, and I'm not going to say it too loud, but I have access. Look at this guy. This is not even the real man. Someone's pretending to be MMA Lock of the Night. I will say, though, it's nothing like MMA Lock of the Night's beard. It's coming, bro. It's been about 3 weeks. Give me time. Let me work. Look at this guy, MMA Lock of the Night. This isn't MMA Lock of the Night. Someone's pretending to be him. I got tricked on that one time before, and I believed it. So I know now. I know how this YouTube game works. Lucrative, do you use certain books because you're in the UK? Yeah, I do. You have to use books that are available in your country. Good thing for me is I travel the world, and I've been able to open books in multiple different countries, and there are ways in which I can place books in those multiple different countries. So I have access to many, many books around the world. But I'm not allowed to bet on those books unless I'm in that country at the time. But we'll just leave it there, I don't want to say anything too incriminating. Big Bird UFC, damn, I'm late as fuck, bro. How unlucky was that Gary by decision? Do not mention that one to me, man. Gary by decision, that was like a 7-unit swing for us. Tough, man. I am the one. The lines come out so late in all of my bookies that I just end up. Exactly. So get more bookies, man. I've been saying it. Looking hot. Age, sex, location. Don't worry, I know that. I know what that means, bro. I've been on MSN where you used to add girls that you didn't really know, but your friends knew them. And yeah, man, I know what that means. Thomas Kane, how are the rents in Auckland? Is there an expat community? Should have pension in 5 years, God willing. Yeah, the rents are expensive, man, but nothing like London where I'm from, so it's all good. Expat community, yeah, I'm friends with a few Englishmen out here. Big Steve, just in time for the rant. You're always in time for the rant because I always do a rant. The fingers you're using to dial are too fat. What's up, James? Addicted to Combat. Shout out to my man, Addicted to Combat. We'll have to do another stream soon. And now I'm just having fun with the chats. This has descended into some degeneracy. Do you think Usman Omega? Yeah, I do, but he's minus 2,000. So please do not parlay him. Just don't do it. There's no value. There's no point. He might break a nail or something. Because you said that you just end up parlaying. And I do not want to advocate for a minus 2,000 parlay. That is not what we do here. We do degenerates. We do degenerate stuff, but we do not parlay minus 2,000 because that's even worse than what we do. All right. Steve Gregory, my old man's dyslexic, and the birthday card he sent me looks like ransom notes. Fair enough, mate. Shout out to your old man. It's a small cage. Okay. I mean, you said that. I'm just skipping over this weird MMA Lock of the Night guy. Can confirm smaller cage, liking this. Yeah, but then people have messaged me saying it's the bigger cage. I need to see some evidence from a reliable source. I'm not saying you're wrong or right. I don't know. Got you, my bad. I understand what you're about to say. All right, 3 weeks for that bum fluff. Come on, Steve, bro. Don't get onto me, bro. I'll be there soon, man. Give me some time. I've not grown it out ever in my life. The first one always takes the longest. Imagine Lock of the Night if he had balls to show up in this space again. He does, bro. He makes videos. He's popping, bro. He's got the Lucky Trinity parlay. MMA Lock of the Night. We know you use VPN to log in. Sometimes you can't use VPN to log in, Sometimes it blocks it, which makes me think how maybe these VPNs are actually, they're not bulletproof because they can be detected if you're using one. So it's tough. My account's been banned for using a VPN before. So you got to be careful with that. MSN, the GOAT Messenger program. One of the best of all time, mate. Straight home from school, straight on MSN. And used to be able to do the emojis. I used to remember the GTA one. Safe. Probably don't have it in Australia, but Like the Wagwan one. Oh, man. Good times. How many units I'm up 2023? About 45 units, brother. Smashing it. How big is Hamza 85 champ versus Shavkat? Yeah, massive, massive. Imagine that. Like, honestly, Shavkat versus Hamza is probably the fight I'm looking forward to the most in the UFC. I can't think of a bigger one. I was probably even more than Jones Garn before the Jones Garn fight. Like, what is a bigger fight than that? I know they're not proven at a championship level, which that just means they're not champions. I know they're not champions, but I don't care. I just think that's an insane fight, man. I don't know who I would pick there. Captain Service saying, did you break down the Said fight? Curious to your takes. Said inside the distance and under for me. Yeah, I said that the line's wide and Jonathan Martinez is a decent bet at plus 200. I don't think it goes in. I don't think it goes inside the distance. Said, I don't think he's a finisher, man. I just feel like he's opportunistic, and yeah, I don't think he's a great finisher. Honestly, I think he's high rolled a lot of his finishes. I don't think they're indicative to actually what happens over a long sample size. But Martinez is a little bit chinny. You know, we saw he got knocked out by Davy Grant, and that he's been wobbled in multiple fights. He got dropped in that fight he fought recently, I think. So, you know, he definitely can be hurt. Krylov spam thoughts. So my thoughts haven't changed really from my breakdown that is already up on my channel. Nikita Krylov versus Ryan Spann. You can go and listen to that. The last time they got booked, like 2-3 weeks ago. I think Spann's going to win the fight. I think Spann's going to knock him out or submit him. Spann submission in round 1. I've played it. Me and Big Steve have played that one. $13, mate. Let's go. Mushroom saying, sorry, I missed it live. James will watch replay. Thanks for being here anyway, bro. Big Bird, I missed the breakdown. What do you think of Harris by submission in round 1 sub? Really hated the grappling tape. Yes, live. I haven't actually taped that fight, man. That only got made 2 days ago, whatever it was. I haven't taped it. I do lean to Harris just because, you know, the short notice, but I don't think Harris really deserves to be a minus 350 against anyone. So maybe Gooden's the side money line wise, but in terms of inside the distance, yeah. Have they released props for like the under and stuff? Because obviously Harris is going to be live for a sub, but then I do think Gooden can get an early knockout. Has anyone got lines for prop lines right now for... Yeah, see, I don't think they do because they're not even on best fight odds, which usually show up with the first books. So, yeah, it's live, but I can't give you an opinion unless I have the odds, man. But I do think it's live. I can confirm a small cage. Everyone keeps confirming it's a small cage, but they don't tell me where they got the information from. I guess so many people are saying it must be true. James is sharp. Like and subscribe. Yes, please like, guys. I mean, you're right here. You might as well like. Likes don't cost anything. And also, you can like right now. You take your mouse, you just scroll and you click. Not trying to be condescending, but I'm saying I want to get across the point how easy it is to like. And I'll get 2,000 views, 200 likes or some bullshit. 10% of you motherfuckers. All right, Anthony saying, I've seen you a lot on other YouTube channels being featured. Dope to see you have your own channel. Interesting to hear your perspective on how you look at betting for value. Thanks for being here, Anthony. Yeah, so if you go back and watch some of my videos, I put out a lot of content on how to gamble on MMA. You know, that's not out there. I've been putting content out on that for years, but I haven't put a lot of it out there, right? I'm going to start to put a lot more out this year. I already have started. So if you go to my channel, not only do I, and this is something that's really important for MMA gamblers, not only do I break down the fights on the weekend, which, yeah, it's great, but once the fight's done, who gives a shit? I actually break down on how you can be a successful MMA gambler. So I've got 3 videos live on my channel right now. One where I speak about chasing, why you shouldn't chase, and if you must chase, the best way to do it. And I've got a video that I put out 2 days ago of a mistake that you shouldn't make when you're betting on MMA. So I'm putting out a lot of stuff on how to bet on MMA. And one of the videos I do have lined up is how I look at value bets and how I bet for value. So definitely go and watch those videos because they're something that you can take with you forever rather than my breakdown on Yan versus Marab. You can only take that with you for a few days. And I've been putting videos like that out for years. I don't think anyone else is doing it. Community. I always like to do something different. Every man and their mother has a breakdown these days. So I like to do things differently. They get a bit boring, but I know everyone loves them, so I'm still doing them every now and then. Almost parlayed Usman on all my bets, but kind of learning after stupid Valentina. Yeah, exactly. Last Sunday of the night, bet 365 locks with VPN. Yeah, annoying as fuck. Can I get a discount on the membership if I sign up today? Yes, you can. You can get a discount, bro. Of course, bro. Anything for you, bro. Steve Gregory, you should give out a Lambo parlay every week and call it the Dead Man Shoe Parlay. You're the split of Gary Stretch, ex-boxer. Gary Stretch, yeah? I'm going to Google him now. I know I dissed your typing, so I hope you're not trying to diss me now by saying I look like some ugly motherfucker. I'm going to check now. Oh, no, was that you, Steve? No, that wasn't. That was Thomas. So Steve's probably not trying to get onto me. But we'll see, man, because the internet's a mad place. Gary Stretch. I don't know this guy. English, How is he English and I don't know him? Gary Stretch, is he tall or something? I got a mate called Stretch and he's about 6'9", man. That's why we call him Stretch. What, you reckon I look like this fella? Don't know about that, guys. You reckon I look like this fella, boys? What do you reckon, boys? Not really, innit? Nah. Maybe, I don't know. What's 1 unit in dollars for you by now? 1 unit equals $1. I have prop lines out. All right. Good stuff. Nolan King said small cage there. Okay. What prop do you want to know the odds for? What was it? Colston Harris versus Jared Gooden. Under 1.5, under 2.5. Fight doesn't go to the decision. Yeah, that's the only fight not listed. Yeah. Appreciate the heads up. Will do. I need to be faster with these chats. Got prop odds for every fight apart from that one. Yeah, that's because yeah. Giallo, no, that's Luca Fury. Sean Gome, SD Dumas, second round sub. Yeah, I could see it. And I could see everyone being really upset because friend wins the first round or something like that. Why are you not answering? I did answer, bro. I just answered you. Any leans for the Usman Leonard free fight? Leon got dominated in that fight apart from the first round. So it's hard for me to see Leon winning minutes here because he didn't even come close to winning minutes in the last fight. I think Usman easily covered minus 400 in that fight. He looked even more than minus 400. Like, he didn't look 80%. He looked about 90%. So it's tough because I do think that Leon, I think the fight's different. No two fights are the same. Every fight goes different. We saw that between their first and last fight, even though it kind of basically went the same apart from that head kick. But I think now it's been like a year later or 6 months, 9 months later. Usman's older. Usman's now lost the belt. Motivation probably there to get the belt, but not as much as it was when he was coming up. Usman's injuries, that always worries me. At some point I feel like Usman's just going to fall off a cliff. Leon's going to have confidence that he can take him down, that he can KO him. It's tough, man. I don't know. I think Usman's going to win. Of course, I have to pick Usman, but yeah, I don't know, man. Sometimes fighters, their time just comes. And we'll speak about that now, actually, because Capin was speaking about the Valentina fight. But yeah, I don't know. Big Bird saying, save the units, unload the ship on Fizzive. Yeah, but he's minus 250, so it's tough to unload on that, mate. Capin Service saying, what do you make of the Grasso win? I know we went back and forth. I don't remember us going back and forth on Twitter, but yeah, it was a good win. She didn't really look good in the fight, but she managed to get the win. She landed some good strikes on the feet, but I mean, they were few and far between. She was kind of getting dominated. Not like battered, but, she was getting dominated. And then she got a transitional sub. That's exactly what I called. I said, if she was to win, it has to be a transitional sub. So I was happy my read was on point with the only way she could win. I will say, though, that I'm really upset that I didn't back her by sub. I didn't realize her by sub was more than plus 2,000. I probably did realize. I just didn't really pay attention, which is silly because I said, and it's on my Twitter now. You can go back and when I did a post about Grasso and Valentina, you can go back and look at the replies. And one of the replies to Gugabe was, if Grasso wins, it would have to be a transitional sub. And that's what it was. So it's kind of annoying that I didn't jump on it, but just because of the price. But yeah, it was a good win. I just feel like Valentina's time's probably, coming to an end. Or maybe it's already come to an end. It might be done now. That's why I put a lot of money on Erin Blanchfield over the last few months to become 2023 champion. The reason is because I thought Valentina's coming off a cliff. Her time's at an end. I think I was probably so dead set on Grasso, so dead set on Erin subbing her that I kind of just dismissed Grasso. So I didn't dismiss it, but I didn't play it, right? I mean, looking at the odds and the way I said, I should have played Grasso via sub. So I think, and this is something I have to look into, and this is something I have to improve in my betting process. I think I was probably, and I saw someone post this on Twitter and I kind of agreed with it. I must have been so dead set on Erin beating Valentina that I just ignored Grasso. Not ignored her in terms of winning, but in terms of not playing the sub at plus 2,000 or whatever. So yeah. Petrino Turkledge, I have to think Petrino's probably going to knock him out. I don't know. There's a lot of comments here, so I will say. So yeah, you're talking about, you got 2,200 for Grasso sub, 620 money line. Yeah, that's a great price. I feel like the money line's like, I don't know, like obviously 620 that cashes looks amazing. But I think sub was the way, man. Sub was really the way. I feel like that's our only win condition. And yeah, man, that was a great bet, bro. Solid. I mean, 2 to 4.4K. It's really solid. Are you upset that Grasso won? It makes it tough for Erin to become champion 2024. No, it doesn't. I think Erin subs Grasso as well, bro. So none of your business. I think talking about MMA lock of the night keeps on talking shit that I've already answered. I'll call the cops on you for fraud. I'm in New Zealand too. Why would you call the cops on me if you're in New Zealand? I watched your last interview about not betting based off interviews. Great stuff, man. Out of curiosity, does knowing that a fighter is coming in emotional, angry? Not really, bro. Because the thing is, we've seen fighters come in super emotional, like insane, do crazy stuff at the weigh-in. Like, what's been I got bad memory. I don't know off the top of my head. Like, I can't think of it. But, Paul Craig, sometimes he goes crazy at the weigh-in, but he does it all the time. And then he wins by submission. Or, I don't know, think how aggressive some people are. Like Mike Perry, when he did that pretend handshake and just slapped the guy's hand and then he ended up winning. I don't know, man. Guys come in angry all the time and they end up winning. So it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to guess? Oh, he's coming in angry, so that means it's bad. But then he might come in good. So it's just, you're basically guessing. You're guessing. Everyone's different. The only way I would say, and this is very nuanced, right? The only way I would say is like if someone's always angry and then they come in, or someone's never angry and then they come in really angry, okay, maybe you look at it. But then even what? Well, you're just not going to bet it. I don't know, man. I still bet it if I think there's value and the odds are good enough and I see the stylistics of the fight. Cap in service, he was saying Erin 2023 for your bet because now it's likely a rematch of Val and Grasso and Erin might not even get a chance. And you're saying what I mean now is Grasso won the real bracket. Yeah, so I still think that, yeah, so let's say they do run it back, which is not a guarantee, right? It's not a guarantee. But let's say that they do. They'll run it back during fight week, probably July, right? So whoever wins that is going to fight again in 2023, most likely. I mean, it's unlikely they'll fight in July and then not fight for the rest of the year. It's possible, but it's unlikely. So unless there's a trilogy after that, which again is possible, but it's unlikely, then I think that Erin fights for the title later in the year, and then she dominates whoever she fights. Now, it's not ideal. I would have loved for Valentina to win it because then Erin would have definitely got the shot after. But then Erin probably would have had to defend again. So, it's definitely not ideal. I'd rather it not have happened, but I still see there's big potential for her to still win the championship. But we'll see. That's the risk you do when you're betting on these future props. And that's why you get better lines than, just taking her to win. Because there's this risk that you go through, right? And I remember a lot of people had Ankalaev to win or to become champion by the end of 2022. And then he got the shot and then he drew. And then no one won the belt. So it's tough, man. Big Bird UFC saying, am I tripping? Or is Henry live bet after round 1 and late props not the easiest play of the week? Yeah, I do like it. MMA lock of the night. This is not actually lock of the night, guys. Anyone on there? Bro, I'm going to block you. What a fool. Why haven't I blocked this guy? Get a real job, man. You contribute nothing to society. Let's compare me to you right now, right? You are pretending to be another human. You're pretending to be another man. I would never dream of pretending to be another man. You are on YouTube pretending to be another man to have banter with me, who you don't know, and I don't know you, and I don't give a shit about you, but you know about me. And you are typing on a burner on my YouTube channel, hate and bullshit, and everyone's telling you to shut up. You're like the loser of the group. And you're saying that I contribute nothing to say. What are you contributing by typing and pretending to be another man? What are you contributing to society? You are contributing absolutely nothing. What I am contributing to society is making many, many men rich. I get DMs every single week of people telling me how much money I've made them. The guy who won 400K on DraftKings last week, the biggest bet I've ever seen, $1 to 400K, messaged me to say, thanks so much. I use your picks for this bet personally. You are an absolute dweeb of a human. I'm not even going to block you because I want you to not leave this YouTube video. I want you to see me telling you how much of a loser you are. Full stop. Kwan is saying, does Erin fight Tyler later this year now? That would be annoying. I don't know. Brandon's saying, coming late to the stream, may have answered, but what are your thoughts on people saying Merab has the blueprint from Sterling? Complete bullshit. I don't know who's saying that. Sterling has great jiu-jitsu, right? So he'll take you down and then he'll jump on your back. Merab's not putting hooks in. Merab's not getting on your back. And he's definitely not getting on Jan's back. So there's no chance. Captain Service saying they already have 2 championship fights for July, I think, light heavyweight and heavyweight, at least that. Yeah, maybe. If it's not, then it will be in the summer anyway. So it maybe even be June, which would be better, or even August. I still feel so. It's March right now, right? Early, like mid-March. So I still think there's going to be 2 more. I think that belt would be fought for 2 more times. Hopefully, anyway. That's what I'm hoping for. Lock in the night. All his bets are tracked for the last 3 years. They're better. Yes, thank you, brother. I have many bet slips out there on my Twitter. Bet slips where I've bet 30 grand on fights. Yeah, I mean, it's all documented out there. Ryan Cameron, I caught Fiziev super early at minus 115. Amazing bet. Amazing bet. This fake lock of the night dude is cooked. Yeah, he's cooked. He's right now, after that rant I just gave him, he's sitting crying on his laptop and he hasn't even replied yet. There's a reason for that. MMA fraudster has been lingering in a bunch of bet live streams. Yeah, I don't want to kick him because he was funny at first and then he just started being a loser. Brandon saying agreed. I'm going to kick off now, boys, because this was meant to be a full card stream and I've just been chatting to everyone because it's interesting, you know, and you guys watch my videos and I appreciate it a lot. That's why I make the videos, because you watch them. If nobody watched them, I probably wouldn't make them. They're good to look back on in the future for me, but I like interacting with the community, and that's why I make these videos, man. So I'll answer this last question and then I'll kick out. Jorge Rivas, saying, you see any value in Kenney against Batista? Not really, mate. Not really. If I was going to play Guido Kenney, I'd just play him via KO, or I'd probably just play him in round 1. Just because he's going to get melted if he doesn't get an early finish. Honestly, Kenney under 2.5 minutes is probably better than like Kenney in round 1, just because it's going to be an early bonk or he's going to get smashed. Anthony saying, good stream, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you for being here, man. I've enjoyed some of your questions today. Daz Files, shout out to Daz, man. Always in the chat, so I really appreciate you too. Fubu, thanks for the commentary. I appreciate it. Dan Hamilton, haven't seen you today. Oh, I think maybe earlier. That picture is familiar. But yeah, man, thanks everyone for being here. I appreciate it. Hopefully we can make money this week. Pete Yan's going to finish Merab Dvalishvilli in the later rounds. If not, he's definitely going to cover his line. I will catch you next week. And if you want all of my official picks, I got a lot of bets this week. And I have bets on Bellator. If you want those, you can go to my website, lucrativemmabetting.com. The link's in the bio. Sign up, get all of my picks. It's very cheap for the amount of money we make, extremely cheap. So, yeah, good luck everyone on your bets this weekend, and I'll see you next week.